Now here we are again in the field with a tree, and it looks pretty dark, doesn't it? So what we're doing today is we are looking, I'm just going to go back to our table because we are going to, he says let's bring it round in the right way, to this. So what we've actually got here is a video teaching you all about something that is incredibly useful and also incredibly cheap in terms of its financial cost. So if you go to somewhere like Wilkinson's, you can buy a smartphone camera multi-lens kit here. The price I paid is £2.75, quite honestly less than a cup of coffee in some places. Now what you'll find, and I've got two here, so what I'm going to do is do this in one take, and the main thing is about looking at a pine cone, a leaf and a big tree. And the reason I'm going to do that is because we've got, I'm just going to bring this up and centre it round. Firstly, let's talk about the fisheye lens. And if you look up these online or anywhere else, you'll find that there's pretty much one good design that fits everything, and that is a plastic clip with a screw-in little thing. But this one is the fisheye, which promises 180 degrees. The one down here at the bottom, and they always seem to come, this is a cleaning cloth, by the way. So I'm going to lay that down there. They seem to come with three components, where this one is the two-part, I'm just going to take this off, which is the wide-angle lens and the macro. So what we can do is, it's a reverse screw, and you just take them out like that, and we've got these two components. Going to put those back in. I think I'm just going to stop the video. Starting up again, what we've got here is a tip, and the tip is this. Here's an old Motorola phone, doesn't really matter what it is apart from we've got a lens. Now what a lot of people tend to do, I think, which would be pretty obvious, is to place the fisheye lens over the top. My tip here is to do the two-step process. Step number one is to take off the lens and get the clip here, and then just place the clip over, and you can see that it is absolutely in the dead centre, shall we say, as centred as you can get it without a lens on. Then do the obvious thing, which is put the lens in very carefully and screw it in. What you see on screen is the Moto G4 with its inbuilt camera recording video at its widest aperture, sorry, its widest zoom level. And I'm going to do this by just placing over, he says while I'm videoing, to something that looks like the wide angle. You can see that because I'm making this video in this way, I'm trying to do things slightly. That's with the fisheye in place, and let's just click it under the bottom here and take the fisheye away. It's a bit like an optician's test, isn't it, really? Same thing this time. We've got the tree just on the camera itself. Then I'm going to put the wide angle over to give us that. Let's just see what it looks like. We've got this on video, remember, as the wide angle, and to take it off. We do get not a terrific amount of difference, but if you wanted a picture of the tree itself, you can clearly see the whole of the tree, and you can't with that one. Next up is macro. Here we are with a pine cone and a leaf. Now if I bring the leaf up to the camera, what we have is a couple of little water droplets on that leaf. The leaf is very small. It is only about, let's say, 30 millimeters. Let's just put that down. Then I'm going to bring up the macro lens and put that on the camera now. Wrong side. Now, if I hit the centre, you'll see very little, and what I'm going to do it in two parts is if I bring up, look at this, this is very, very close. Look, that is, of course, 1 centimetre, 10 millimetres. Very, very close. So then if we bringing the leaf right up close, we can start to see some really small structures on the leaf, and also the water droplets, he says, keeping a steady hand when we've got shotguns in the background. Let's have a look at the pine cone. I mean, I think it's just a beautiful thing. If you just leave that in its blurriness, it still looks pretty interesting, especially the horizons with the sun and the sky sometimes. Very slowly bringing it in to the side of that pine cone. Oh my goodness, look at the detail of that. I know I'm just doing this demonstration by holding it with my hands, but it's quite something, isn't it? Look at the detail of that piece of pine cone there. Goodness, there's a broken part at the side. We'll see what it looks like. Remember, you can just make videos, still photos, whatever you wish to. It's a bit obscure, isn't it? Can't see that. Let's try the other side of the leaf. Look at the detail. Remember, this lens was, what did I say it was? £2.75 for all 3 lenses. Look at that. Forget the photography, forget the videography, just look at the beautiful idea of nature here. Let's see if I can literally get something else to show you. What else could we show you? So I'm sitting, oh here we go, blade of grass. What is easier than a blade of grass freshly picked? There is a blade of grass, and there's the end of the grass along with my finger print. Not very clean hands probably, is it? If you put that in some kind of different context, what I'm going to do is just get the little lens cleaning cloth and bring that down. And now you've got a slightly different coloured background. And there is a blade of grass. Look at that. That's a beautiful thing. And you can see the little cleaning cloth as well, can't you? We could do this like pretty much forever, can't you? You can get quite obsessive with it really. If I looked at the wide angle lens, look to bring in, very small wide angle lens. Let's finish up with some green, shall we? And a blurry pine cone and a nice leaf next to it, and then take off the macro lens, and then remember the parts that we were looking at were really small.